Hello and welcome to a news update from Granada Reports. Aid workers from the northwest have been experiencing firsthand the extent of devastation in war-torn Ukraine. They wanted to make sure help reaches those in greatest need and so decided to deliver it in person. Lucille Brobby has this report.
Driving through the streets of Bucha, volunteers from the northwest witnessed the extent of Russia's bombardment.
The only thing I can describe it as, it's like an apocalypse. You know, it's like the world has literally ended.
Since the war began, charities like the Spearhead Foundation in Manchester have been travelling to the Ukrainian-Polish border and donating medical aid to the war-torn country. But when they made their first trip in March, they realised a lot of the aid wasn't making its way into Ukraine. So they'd made the brave decision to cross the border.
So for us, we didn't want we'd raised a lot of money to it. We were also knew our capabilities and our personal experience. Everyone that went had been a warfighter. So we knew that we could probably get it to the actual people. And that decision pretty much there and then at the border, whilst looking at the border checkpoint and seeing the chaos in front of us, was let's just go and deliver this.
After hearing about what's been happening in Ukraine, children in Rochdale have written thousands of letters to refugee children in Lviv, a city they're twinned with.
I think they're going to feel a bit reassured, and I hope that they can feel a bit happier.
I just want them to know that we're always thinking about them and that there's always a rainbow at the end of a storm.
Lucille Brobby, ITV News.
And more than £15,000 has been donated to support the children of Katie Kenyon after her body was discovered in Woodland in Lancashire. The 33-year-old mum of two went missing from Burnley more than a week ago. It led to a massive search of Gisborne Forest involving several police forces. Detectives say tests have revealed she died of head injuries. A man's been charged with her murder. Our Blackburn Rovers has become the first football club in the country to host a mass prayer reading to mark the end of Ramadan. Over 1,500 worshippers from across East Lancashire gathered on the Ewood Park pitch, as Paul Crone reports.
A crowded goalmouth at Ewood Park this morning like no other. Prayers being said on the Blackburn Rovers pitch, marking the end of a month's fasting by Muslims worldwide, and the first time an English football club has hosted such an event.
We're big believers that we're one town, one club, one community, and if there's ever an event that we've ever done that signifies that, I think this is it.
Over 1,500 worshippers were in attendance for Eid prayers at Ewood, led by a notable British Islamic scholar.
The doors of football stadiums are gradually being opened to different types of audiences, and to the extent that the stadium is not just a place as a football pitch, you know, people playing football, but also there are local communities are utilising the space for their own kind of, religious activities.
As well as celebrating the end of Ramadan, Blackburn Rovers opening up its stadium and being the first club in the country to do so for an Eid prayer is being seen as a significant step within the local community. The Eid prayers at Ewood come only a few days after Rovers won an EFL Diversity Award for their efforts in providing equal opportunities for young people to experience live football. Paul Crone, ITV News, Blackburn.
Getting that winning feeling. FOW, sponsors of the Granada Sport Report.
Well, in football, Manchester United boss Ralph Rangnick says there'll be no room for sentiment at tonight's game against Brentford. It's United's last home game of the season, with many players' contracts expiring this summer. But Rangnick says he can't afford to give them all one last game at Old Trafford.
I would like to, but again, it's also about getting the best possible result and the best possible performance, and it's not about making any gifts to players. It's not about saying farewell to the supporters. If that's possible, I will do that, or I would like to do that, but it's also about getting the best possible result.
Well, let's see what the weather's doing. Here's Joe.
Now that is brew weather.
And only boiling what she needs.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada Weather.
Big up you, sis.
Thank you. Good evening. May has started on a rather damp and cloudy note. Some much needed rain over the last 24 hours across the whole of the UK. And this week, further showers to come, bright spells, and gradually our weather will be warming up as we go through the next few days. Now this evening and overnight, low cloud, mistiness, 1 or 2 fog patches for Pennine areas. And tonight we're free from frost, 8 or 9 Celsius the overnight low, with a very gentle breeze across the region before tomorrow. Those are the sun times, up at 5:32 and down at 8:44. A cloudy old day tomorrow, perhaps 1 or 2 bright spells developing, but in turn 1 or 2 showers. There's some drizzle from the word go. And into the afternoon, well, temperatures perhaps not quite to today's, but around 15 or 16 Celsius. Just be aware, any showers, though, could be a little bit heavy. Bye-bye.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
2 sugars, please.
Oh, lovely.
Thanks very much, Joe. Well, that's all the news and sports even so far this evening. Eid Mubarak to everyone who's celebrating, and we're back again tomorrow in Good Morning Britain. Until then, have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.